Hello, my name is Sean. This is my first video log for my drone. So right now I have some of the pieces for my TBS Source 1 version 5.1 7-inch frame, and this is like sort of my setup. This is a 2mm hex shaped screwdriver, and then with the frame, I got some shorter screws, some medium length screws, and some long screws. I think they're all M3s. And I also got some of these like thinner screws, but I'll use those later. For now, I'm just gonna assemble this frame, and I'll go over some other parts I got after. So the 7-inch is actually a little bit different than the 5-inch because the shape of the arms is a little bit different, specifically the point where they like mount to the main body of it. So if you see here, this is a little bit like tapered and then straight, while this is, both of these are tapered at like a slightly larger angle. So yeah, and then in the 5-inch, all of them are tapered at the same angle, just in different directions, if that makes sense. But yeah, this is like sort of the configuration where this would be the front of the drone and this would be the back of the drone. And then this piece is gonna go at the bottom. So this is the front, like this would be at the very front because this is where the camera mounts. So obviously you'd want it to have the best view. And then this is where I mount all of my arms. So I'm just gonna go ahead and mount the arms. I'm gonna use the medium length screws that they gave me. And yeah, I'm just gonna get to it. So now this is what we're left with. So I don't know if you guys noticed, but in the first shot before the time lapse, turns out one of these pieces was actually backwards, so I kind of had to take it out and put it back in. But this is what we're left with. So again, I just used my 4 medium-sized screws, and so my flight controller, which I'll be programming and such to make the thing fly. It's a 30 by 30 stack, so it'll actually mount into these holes. So I'm using these holes to mount the arms, and yeah. And again, it shouldn't have been where I had to screw these in, but these parts aren't perfectly milled, so I guess this is what we'll do. And then I'm kind of gonna put this on top here, and I'm pretty sure the VTX that I have will mount back here. So I'm just gonna take this opportunity to show you the other parts that I have so far. Again, a lot of them are shipping. So I have this TX800 VTX. So it's a Speedy B VTX, and a VTX is just like transmitting video. So when you get video feed on the camera of your drone, it'll take that and transmit that to the goggles, which I also have, and I think they're Yashin E800Ds. Don't fact check that, but this is what we're working with. Obviously there are some other parts, but yeah, that's the main thing. And then yeah, it comes with like a nifty little case, so that's always cool. Also, I have a soldering iron for, it's up here. I have a soldering iron for when my motors and my main stack comes. I'll just solder what I need to solder. And then I also, so I ordered Dalprop T5050Cs, and in red, they gave me T5045Cs, I believe, in orange, which isn't a huge difference, but when it comes to the thrust that these propellers will produce, it's a lot less. Or not a lot, but it'll be pretty significant to the point where I'd still want the props that I initially ordered. Yeah. So this will have to return these and get them, but I don't think they take too long to get, and they're like $5. So yeah, we'll probably end up returning these, and that's all I have so far. So we're still waiting on, obviously, like my motors, my camera. So these are actually the camera mounts, which you'll attach here. And yeah, so I'm still waiting for my camera, my main flight controller, the motors, the receiver, the remote, like my and then I'm also, so my remote is I think it's the Beta FPV FR SKY. So the difference between that and the regular ELRS 2.4 gigahertz version is one comes with like a built-in transmitter module, and the one I got doesn't, because I want a longer range. So I'm also going to get a separate transmitter module, which I'll attach to my remote. So I'm still waiting on those and like a few other things, but I'm just going to work on the frame right now until the rest of the parts come. I might have to take this apart. I don't know if I already said that, but I might have to like take some parts off of it to attach everything. But for now, I just want to see how everything fits together, and I don't really mind redoing a little bit work if it gives me better understanding of the build. So I thought I was recording for like the past 20 minutes, which is about how long I was working on this after my last cut, but I guess I accidentally took a photo, which I should have checked, but this is what we're left with. I'll just go over with you. So I have these standoffs attached, which is a little different from what you guys last saw. So I have these longer ones and these shorter ones. The longer ones went on the front because obviously like this is closer to the ground than this. So it took a little bit, it was a little tricky because again, the holes aren't perfectly milled, so I had to like kind of work it out, but everything ended up being pretty flush, pretty level, as you can see. So I'm pretty happy with it. And now at this point, I have like a kind of good gauge of the size of the drone and kind of what it's gonna look like, because obviously, like, so I also have kind of, for a size comparison of what it looks like, I have this ordinary mechanical pencil, so that gives you kind of good size, because I would use my hands, but they're not your average sized hands, so it's not ideal. So yeah, when I pictured a drone, I pictured something way bigger, but I wanted something agile at not the most expensive price range. So this was pretty good, and I want something that's pretty maneuverable and I can get through tight spaces. It'll mainly be for surveillance, which is, I don't need anything crazy, which is what I'm trying to say. So the size worked out pretty good. They also had a smaller option, the 5-inch, which I may have mentioned, but I liked the 7-inch. So that's what I went with. I wanted something a little bit larger. So now I can get, so earlier I was planning on attaching everything and finishing the full thing, but I need some of my stack screws, which I don't have my stack quite yet. So, but what I can do is show you this. So I put the back and the front. So this is the front. I can just attach my camera mounts like so. and then just go like that. So this is where my camera would be mounted, and this is basically what the drone will look like. Obviously I'd have to screw all of these things in, but this is kind of what the drone will look like, except obviously with stuff inside. So I was gonna attach the VTX, but I didn't have the antenna, and obviously I don't have the camera, so I'll just wait till I get a few more parts before continuing. But yeah, I got a pretty good gauge of the size, and I got some work done today, so that's good. Right now my biggest concern is how much space I'm gonna have for my GPS and my receiver and whatnot, but I think I'll make it work, so we're looking pretty good so far. Yeah.